Hello, people of YouTube. Today is going to be my top 5 meanest and or scariest teachers I've ever encountered. Now, this is sort of based off of my, 5 things I hate about teachers. So, yeah. Well, let's jump right in. Number 5. Number 5 is my math teacher of this school year. Now, she isn't necessarily mean, but we kids like to call what she has extreme mood swings. You've probably heard of them before. She's sometimes like, la 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 la, it's a wonderful day to be a math teacher. And then other times she's like, sit down, be quiet, ladies and gentlemen, like over last night's homework. Anyway, so, something like that. Now, she does have a good side and a bad side, like most teachers. I've always been on her good side because I've always been really good at math. But the kids on her bad side, they're probably getting a lot of detentions and a lot of lectures about how unprepared they are. Okay. So, her bad side isn't horrible as opposed to the next teacher coming up, number 4. But it's definitely not the route you want to take. Okay. Number 4 is this teacher. Last year, she taught 5th grade English and science. This year, she's teaching gifted kids in all grades, or maybe just 5th and 6th, but I really don't know. But that's not the point. She's pretty mean. Did you know that she one time sat on a kid because he kept thinking class was over and he kept getting up? Yeah, she literally sat on him. Good thing she doesn't fart. Well, not that I know of, at least. Anyway. So, yeah. Isn't that sort of, child abuse? It might be. Anyway, so, another time she yelled at me because I was purposely waiting somewhere for an area of the school to clear out, and she was like, hey, you, what are you doing here? Go, get to class. I never waited again because I really did not want that to happen a second time. I decided, it's worth it to not get yelled at to go with this gigantic crowd when you're, like, cramped up shoulder to shoulder with other kids. Okay, well, that's all about her, I guess. Oh, one more thing. Her good side and her bad side. Her good side